Have you ever come across a client who was just not able to define their problem? Someone who started with, I don't know why am I here? Or I don't know where to start. Or something like, I know there is a problem. I can feel it in my gut, but I don't know what is it or why I feel this way. If you are watching this video, either you have already come across someone like this or sooner or later you will. Which means it is very useful to know how to proceed with these clients so that they can understand and verbalize their problems or current situations clearly. One of the best ways to work with these clients is with the help of abstract or projective metaphors. Before I tell you what abstract metaphors are, go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that we can share more valuable resources that will help you develop powerful therapeutic skills. So, what is an abstract or a projective metaphor? An abstract or a projective metaphor simply refers to a process where we draw something really abstract and then ask the client to create meaning out of it. Because the drawing is abstract, the client has to fill in the details to make sense of the drawing. In order to ensure that the meaning the client creates is in sync with the client's current problem or situation, we guide the client with a step-by-step process. The first step is to ask the client, close your eyes, take 3 deep breaths, and then just think about what you would like to discuss with me. Think about the thoughts, the emotions, the events, or the things that made you realize the need to connect with me. Remember, you are just asking the client to think and not asking him to verbalize their thoughts or their feelings or their problems yet. Next step is, while the client is thinking with their eyes closed, draw something abstract on a paper or a board. If you are working via online video meeting softwares, share your screen and draw something on the whiteboard of the software you are using. Remember, the drawing needs to be abstract. So what I do is I randomly draw some lines or some curves on the screen in a way that some of the lines and curves overlap. Third step after you have made this drawing is to ask the client, open your eyes and identify at least 3 things, maybe shapes, items or objects in the drawing. What you're asking them to do is very similar to what children do when they see shapes in clouds. Once the client identifies 3 things, objects or shapes, ask them to identify 2 more and request them to mark these things that they've identified. You may be wondering why ask the clients to identify 3 things first and then 2 things after that. Why not directly ask the clients to identify 5 things? This is a good question, one that I would like you to think about and share why according to you we are doing this in the comment below. The next step after identification of shapes, items or objects is to ask the client, I would like you to create a story that contains all these 5 things that you have identified. After the client creates the story, ask them, if you were a part of this story, what would you be doing? What role are you playing in this story? Once the client tells you the role that they are playing in the story, the next step is to ask them, think about this story and help me understand how this story relates to what is happening in your life and the problems that you would like to work with. Once the client has been able to verbalize how this story relates to their problems and their current situation, ask them to define their problem using the format that we have discussed in the last video. Yes, you guessed it right. I feel dash 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 about dash 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 when dash dash dash. That's it. You have helped the client define their problems clearly and effectively. Simple, isn't it? It's not only simple, but it is highly effective. I have had therapists coming back and telling me that even clients who earlier, after hours of interview and rapport building activities, were not able to get clarity about their problems, were actually able to describe their problems clearly in a way that they resonated after this activity. Now that you know how to work with clients who are not clear what their problem is in the first place with the help of abstract metaphors, I want you to think and tell me, why does this process work? And how is it that abstract metaphors are helping clients get clarity about their own problems? While you do that, remember, the next video in this series will be released on the coming Monday at 11 AM. In that video, we will shift our focus to helping clients define their desired outcomes quickly. If you would like to be notified about the next video, do watch this space and follow us. I would also request you to join us in this mission to help mental health practitioners develop advanced therapeutic skills. You can do so by liking this video, commenting on it, and sharing it with your friends and your colleagues.